Hi everyone, Emily here. Today we are talking about all things herbs. So Chef Darcy has talked to you about how to start your garden, different tips on how to get your garden really nice and healthy, and how to harvest. So if you haven't seen those videos, go back and watch them completely. Make sure that your garden is really nice and healthy. But what I'm going to be talking to you today about is what to do with all of those herbs after you have harvested them. You might have come across this problem if you are a seasoned gardener, having a whole bunch of parsley at the end of the season or a whole bunch of basil. And it's always nice to have a few recipes that are your go-tos. Something that you know that you love, that your family loves, and something that's really nice and freezer friendly. So I love herb sauces, and that's what we're gonna be talking about today. So here we have a chimichurri. Chimichurri is one of my go-tos, definitely. It's a South American herb sauce. It's considered a loose herb sauce, and it's really great for marinating things, but it's also really great for kind of drizzling on grilled meats, vegetables, etc. I would say if you are marinating meat, especially something like flank steak, it's better as a quicker marinade rather than a very, very long marinade. Just be cognizant of that acidity level and how it can kind of cook those proteins over time. Next up, we have a gremolata. Gremolata is basically just parsley, garlic, lemon zest, and olive oil. Of course, you're gonna add a little bit of salt to kind of enhance all of those flavors. It's super, super fresh, really great for all of these beautiful spring and summer dishes, and I just love it. Next up, we have pesto. So pesto is the only sauce that we have here that is a blended sauce. Pesto is always gonna have a cheese component to it, so Parmesan here, and it's always gonna have either a seed or a nut as well. So I'm sure you know that you can kind of toss it in with some cooked pasta, but what you can also do is kind of brush it on a piece of fish and bake your fish or a chicken breast, and it really imparts that beautiful flavor. Last but not least, it is chermoula. So chermoula is one of my new favorite herb sauces. It's Tunisian or Moroccan or Algerian in origin, and it is amazing in flavor. So I've done this one in a mortar and pestle. It's a little bit, you can see that the herbs are a little more crushed, and there's even a few little stems in here which, you know, impart a little bit more flavor. So don't be scared of all of those stems if you're using soft herbs. So these are our 4 herb sauces. You could find all of these on our website if you wanted to know each of these recipes, but I'm gonna be showing you how to make my new favorite, which is chermoula. We are making chermoula. This is one of my favorites, like I said, and it is great for marinating or finishing a dish. Super simple and really freezer friendly. So we're gonna start out with toasted herbs. So I've got toasted cumin and toasted coriander seeds here. I've toasted them ahead of time and they're kind of cooled down a little bit. I'm just going to crush them up. So I've got a little bit of red pepper flakes. Gonna add that in, do the same thing. So next we have ginger and garlic. So we have a slice of ginger, peeled fresh, and 2 cloves of garlic. I like to grab a pinch of salt. I'm using coarse kosher salt here, and add that in before I start crushing my garlic and ginger. It's gonna kind of draw out those oils of the garlic, and it's gonna help to kind of smash the garlic up just a little bit quicker. I start by kind of breaking up the ginger and garlic at the base of the mortar and pestle, and once it starts to break up and the juices start to come out, then I'm gonna roll my pestle around the mortar until a paste. Okay, so now it's time to chop my herbs. You can always just add your herbs to your mortar and pestle and start to kind of blend everything together, but I find just running a knife through it quickly speeds the whole process up a little bit more. We have parsley and cilantro here. So I've got my herbs ready to go into my mortar and pestle. To that, I'm going to add olive oil, And I'm going to zest a lemon, either on a coarser microplane or a fine microplane. It doesn't really matter. I'm gonna go with the coarse one. And then take this lemon and juice it right into our mortar and pestle. Sometimes all of the ingredients kind of come up on the lip of the mortar and pestle, so I just kind of push it down and I continue to go. But because I have chopped my herbs ahead of time, it shouldn't take as long as it would if you just added your herbs whole. Okay, that looks about right. So I'll show you. We've got all of our ingredients nicely mixed. All of the olive oil is kind of within all of our herbs, and it's ready to use. So you can either use it as a marinade or you can use it as a garnish. Like I said before, whatever I'm using as a marinade, if it doesn't have hard herbs like too much rosemary or something like that, which would need to get cooked out, if it's got primarily soft herbs like this, I always keep a little bit aside so I can garnish the dish after. And we're good to go. So there you have it, our chermoula recipe, and we've kind of discussed a few other herb sauce recipes. So whether you have an excess of herbs after your harvest or you just have that bunch of parsley that you don't really know what to do with, those are a few options for you. They freeze well, they're really great for marinating and just imparting a whole ton of fresh flavor to your dish.